equals wellness. You're listening to my mantra in the background. My I am, my I is, my isness. I travel and get paid to play. I use Russians to spend my money, saving and throwing my money. I finance my budget. I got everything in order, it's going well. Everything always works out for me, and my husband is happy and he's my life partner, and that scenario is very prosperous with our unity. I have a wonderful thing where I want to go. Folk can episode. Anyway, let me see if I can check you back to the beginning. This is the beginning. Precious MotherLove in the house in a comfortable luxury space. My bills are paid and my debts are paid in full. I enjoy and prosper from. So one love and wellness. I'm just telling y'all a few things today. I just started off with my little mantra. Love plus art equals wellness. Season 5 of Heart Happy Hour. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you are there and listening on the 4th of July. There's a number of reasons why I said that, but 4th of July is to me, okay, so the J in Latin America, the J is, it's running low, the J is pronounced, I know someone named Janine, spelled with a J, but her name, she says it, and her family says it, and they all speak, they're, Latinos or Jesus, so anyway, more about July. So July with a J, if I were to say it in some other language, it might be July. So speaking of lies, the 4th of July. Okay, so I just want to put a perspective in place, something that hit me today. It kind of blew my mind. It was kind of a mind-blowing expansion. I started thinking about, if I were in space and I was seeing a planet having these explosions coming off of one side of it, right now the Milky Way is visible with a naked eye this summer. This summer we can see the Milky Way, so that means that if we can see them, then they can see us. If those planets are visible to us, then we're probably visible to those planets. So, every 60 years or 50, because the first Google told me 50, but every 50 to 60 years, the Dogons, remember I gave the Dogons credit, the credit has been given to the Dogons for bringing cannabis to this planet, but I, digress. There is a ceremony that they do every 50 to 60 years. I think it's called a sigil, and for us, a sigil is a sign or a symbol, signature that is used to encapsulate a whole thought full of energy. So that ceremony that's done every 50 to 60 years, it's time for that time to come around. We're about 50, is it 55 years in? They said the 60 years would be in 2027. So we're a little over 50 plus years into the potential time frame that they would be doing. I guess, I think Sirius B, that white dwarf star, is seen between some mountaintops or something like that. At that time, I don't know if they spend 90 days, 6 months. The young men spend time in the wilderness and conquer, all these beasts within themselves and without themselves. But they speak some sort of secret language. Google has a few tidbits. I've heard a few tidbits. And so when I put all that together, I'm thinking this 4th of July this is them possibly synchronizing with when their planet becomes visible, which, they were thought to be liars until that period came where it actually was visible, for it to be seen. Sirius A, B, and C has now been acknowledged. How about that? So, but hi to all the folks over there. I'm driving, so I can't. I see writing, but I ain't. I'm not. Well, I'm coming to a red light, so maybe I will read a few things if I stop long enough. But 4th of July, what about all these, Columbus, Plymouth Rock landed on us kind of thing? I mean, the reversal of so much that's hidden in plain sight that, even the words, the language, the energy that comes from, like there's certain original tongues or original languages that keep certain things in it. And the way it's said, remember I said something about the inside breath. That's if you follow me. Like, subscribe, and share. Okay? Follow, like, subscribe, and share. But if you are following some of the things that I'm bringing to the forefront that are being revealed to me, that are being, I'm discovering, it's probably something that other people know about, but when I put it into position and line it all up, the facts that it leads to or the direction it leads in says that there's something about that inside breath. These original languages utilize the inside breath, just like the Aboriginals do, or Aborigines do, when they do that didgeridoo. There's a cycle breath that they do for that tone to continue, for there to be a continuous humming noise or sounding of the horn or whatever. Kind of sounding like a singing bowl, sort of kind of like, like us imitating or them imitating us with the singing bowl. A lot of things are imitated as far as what this physical can do, most times in an electronic way, but of course there's always the acoustic. But in any case, the 4th of July, they have lied. And who's they? How about we have not questioned? How about we have not done enough research to accept something different? We accept what has been given to us by those who want to prosper through us. So if we continue to listen to the narrative that others who are living in a capitalistic mindset, country, planet, system, because the people, I have heard, I believe it resonates with me that there are other planets. Like, this planet is apparently owned by, it has ownership, not just, it's a piece of real estate. The White House was born a couple of years ago. The White House was sold. It was sold a couple of years ago. And interestingly enough, it is not an American. It is not someone that was born within the U.S. soils. The loins of this Mother Gaia is owned lock, stock, and barrel by another entity. And so the same thing happens with these other planets, these other star systems. You can imagine that there's a major number of variations that could happen on these other planets. Like, say for instance, let me go back to what I thought about in the beginning. Say for instance, this planet is owned by whomever, the green people, and then other planets are owned by the blue people or the red people or the orange people. All these planets, all these planet owners. So the Milky Way is visible to this planet, right? So all of a sudden this planet starts shooting off, popping off at the mouth, showing these lights, giving a light show in the sky, in the deep ethers. It's being able to be seen. Now, I don't know what the time and the distance and light years and time travel, I don't know how long it takes for them to actually see the visible pow, bang, pop, boom in the sky. I don't know how long it takes them to see that, but can you imagine what you would think that was if you were on another planet and you seeing, like for instance, these flares coming off the sun. We look like we're doing something like that. To me, that's what it would look like. To me, I would be like, ooh, they sending out a lot of energy from over there. And speaking of energy, so yeah, we sending out a bunch of energy. So this time frame, the reason why I brought up Dogons in the beginning, because the Dogons, we're in that period of them celebrating what the significance of seeing their planet. Now, again, we're lining up with seeing the Milky Way with the naked eye, but also, this is supposedly a time of independence. Yes, we may be thinking of independence, but how about if we are also signifying the independence within that galactic confederation of whatever kinds of, heads, leaders, or planets or worlds or whatever, so I kind of, I'm mixing up a bunch of things in there because I believe I read something and then I wasn't able to find it when I went back to try to screenshot it, but it was said that the Dogons are in the period of celebration of this their solar return, and that's what that 50 to 60 year thing is about. The solar return of one of their Sirius A, B, and C stars, or it lining up. So Star Spangled Banner, shining bright in the night, so some of the things that these stars we're emulating when we are blowing up these things in the sky. We're emulating what looks like could be war, what looks like could be planets blowing up. If you are just observing it from afar, and if we can see them with the naked eye, who knows, maybe they can see us with the naked eye, which means if that's the case, then maybe they're going to see these flares coming off, these flagrant fires being, emitted from this rock, this globe, oh, it's starting to drizzle. I don't know if that means I should turn around because of where I'm going, being outdoor activity. Happy Independence Day, and, one love and wellness. Thank you for joining me, precious MotherLove. Ashe. Thank you for riding along with me and listening to me rant and rave about the things, the dots that I'm connecting. All right. So when we yesterday or the day before, I talked about the primordial waters of Mother Gaia, and that she has times of her excitement, and I believe that it has to do with that 28-day cycle, because at some point my cycle synced up with the moon cycle. I was only on, I would come on the full moon as far as my cycle, my period. Why is it called that? Period. Why are we naming certain things? Are we getting into what this, that's a period of time. It is a measurement. It is, if you sync it up with the moon, it does have a syncretic timeline. Oh, lots of traffic now. Okay. But her primordial waters, I know I talked about this before, how we can sync up with, or how her plasma, how her primordial living waters can be used in an IV. The coconut water, I don't know if it's coconut milk or coconut water, but can be used in an IV, in a blood transfusion, in place of, our blood, whatever our blood type is. Okay. So, I'm connecting some of the below stuff to the as above stuff, because the Dogons talk about there's some sort of folklore that they have that I think it's called Amam or Aman. It's very similar to the name that the I don't know if it's the Quran, but the Imam is, I believe, the head spiritual person within certain churches. The Imam, I think that's what it's called. I believe when I took the Shahada, that was the head leader that I had come under. But I mean, I've joined and participated and learned from and absorbed and picked from, cherry picked from various religious practices. I don't practice any particular religion, but I do have resonance with certain of the practices, certain of the disciplines, certain of the things that they are observing, and I admire certain things about it. So I may incorporate it into how my lifestyle is, and you can't pattern it behind anything in particular. Just the fact is that I desire to incorporate that into, my lifestyle. And speaking of lifestyle, part of that is, I spoke about when the pigs jumped off the water, jumped off the cliff with the spirit in them, the so-called rogue spirit, and went into the water. Like, where did that spirit go? Did it go into the water? Did it trouble the water? Did the water dissipate it? Did it balance it out? What happened to the spirit once the water got on it? Is it like when the witch gets doused with water that she melts? I mean, how do we relate that? I mean, because I at that point think that it does quicken the water, and it does at that point make it living water, meaning that there are things living in the waters. This is part of what's now living in the water, and what are those things? Those are good or bad. It's just energy. It's not good or bad to me. It's just energy. So what is done with it, that energy, is what makes it good or bad. So, okay, primordial waters of Mother Gaia. So the Dogons have this folklore that the Aman and Goddess Earth, or the Earth, I think they're trying to say they dated, but they weren't able to connect on an intimate way or something like that. That the clitoris, they were unable to connect with the clitoris, and it was turned into some sort of a termite mound. I couldn't get what Google was trying to say via Wikipedia or whatever other. It just kind of muddied the waters for me. But I bring that up to say, I put that into, the hopper with some of the other stuff that I've been talking about, because, some of the African tribes that do circumcise women, as well as, like the Jewish circumcising men, or, what has now become like a mainstream as far as, circumcision of, like, I don't know how it's done or what makes people think that it's a unanimous thing. I think in the Bible it said that it was for a particular people, and for those people to be able to get blessings of the land, they had to show, like, this was the mark. This was the marking of that lineage. So if you're not of that lineage, and who knows who is, I think it was something specific for that time and relevant for that lesson. I think there was something about some child kept urinating on the wall of the church or something, and so there was some sort of, I'm trying to recall some of the story, or enough of the story that you can relate to it, but the story was that some child was mischievous, and so to pay that family of that child's back, or to be able to continue to look upon that family with respect, they had to actually snip the tip, to clip it off. And so I don't get the full connection of how it converted into how every man or all men, but as I said, I think that is some spiritual real estate, that is something that would have men thinking differently, and would have them relating to relationships differently. Yes, their hygiene would be different. Okay, you gonna let me over? You're not gonna let me over. I wanna get over. Okay, here we go. Thank you. So, yeah, and I'm about to make a stop so I can read these things, but I want to get some ice before I go where I'm going. I am on my way to Mom's. One of my favorite stores is My Organic Market. Oh my goodness, I love that place. But I also like Sprouts. Several others. These little more catered towards organic and vegan, vegetarian, clean living lifestyles. There are a lot of them that I'm noticing that I'm admiring what we're doing with ourselves. We are paying more attention to eating good and living good, and being our best selves by not eating. And that gets me back to, it kind of took me back to something I was about to talk about, which was the swine, which certain religions do not want you to eat these the other white meat. But it's really a it's all what you accept. What do you think? What do you believe? What do you really want for yourself? Do you want the best for yourself? So you start thinking the best things and what's best for you, and and those best things, the more you think about whatever it is that it is, as long as you feel like it's the best for you, you'll be attracting that thing to you. The more you think about it, yeah, I want a blue, whatever it is. I want a blue jacket to come and buy $800 worth of my jewelry tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 5th. I'm putting it out there like that. I don't know. Sometimes it does happen like that. I know one day I said, it was a top of the day, and I said, I want to make $500 today. And doggone if I didn't make $500 that day. That was when I first started getting into the Gateway Meditation, which, by the way, we got another Gateway Meditation event coming up. It's actually a full moon pool party. So it's in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. It's on the 21st, Sunday, the 21st of July. So if you want details, Google me and you'll see the flyer somewhere. And if not, then inbox me somewhere. And, because I haven't decided, is it public, or just public? So I don't know if I'm putting it on the social media, because enough people have been told that have told other people that we'll have a full house. But it's a nice sized place. And this particular person, it's also her birthday, the person whose house we're hosting it at, the um, Love+Art equals wellness, full moon wellness, um, world of wellness. I don't know exactly what I'm going to call it, and then I'm about to coin that phrase, whatever that is. But yeah, we're about to do one of those. So let me read what's on the screen. How are you guys today? Hi, Richardson. What's that first name? Da 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 da. Damian Richardson. One love and wellness to you. And how you say that name? I don't know. Kadbo Fusion. Salam. Salam alaikum. I can't. Well, alaikum. Oh my gosh, I can't even. For some reason, it's getting mixed up in my head. Salam alaikum. Yes, that's what you said. Okay, it came out right that time. I have to not think about how it's spelled, but how it sounds. Okay. And let's see here. Who is this? Sherry is in your Insta. Subscribe, like, done, my sister. Thank you. Oh, if I could read that, am my eyes going bad? Anu and Anil. I can't. Oh man, I guess that's where my shirt is blending in with the color that's on the screen. Rojani, and then Dimitri. Subscribe, like, and share. Blah blah blah. Empower. Oh, those words are in another language. Yes, I love it. Speak another language to me. I want to learn how to breathe the way they breathe, and to be able to use the files, the phonics, the frequency, the breath, all of that in a different way, because I think those things make a difference in how things manifest for you and how the energy moves. And I believe this language has energy, but it may not have as much energy as other languages that give you the opportunity to have a more guttural, to have a more I don't know how to say it, aboriginal way of talking, something that relates to more of the what do you call those things? Fire, earth, air, water, elements. Okay. See how you lie. I told you everything I could for now. I'll be back later to tell you more. I share you one love and wellness. Love plus art equals wellness, peace, and soul.